Hello investors, I hope all of you had a good day. Today was a little bit tough on the market, definitely with some jobs data not being as positive as some people might have thought. And also some of the cases that were out that were reported in the US really held stocks down, that's for sure today. I had a 1.7% loss, that's still better than the NASDAQ did, so that's good. But it's never good to have a loss. This was a tough day for the market. So my year to date with that loss is at 202.48% year to date. That is still above my 200% goal that I set at the beginning of the year, beginning of 2020. Now that I've hit 200%, I'm going for 300%, and then we'll see from there. Just keep going and increasing the goal as it goes. I had a couple sales today, and I forgot to mention my sales yesterday, but today I sold GES. I sold for 5.5% gain. It had been 3 days since the insider activity, so I felt like it was really time to move on. It had jumped, it has done its thing, and so I wanted to lock in those profits. That was the reasoning why I did that. 5.5% gain, you might be like, that's just okay. Yeah, it was just okay. But you know, over 3 days to make 5.5%, if you can do that over and over and over and over and over again, that's how you get big, gigantic gains at the end of the year. And so that's what I'm going for. That's my strategy. I also sold AVCT. Should have done quite a bit better on AVCT. I was up 12% in it yesterday, but today I had a little struggle with that. It was down in the market, and I admitted I really kind of panicked there for a minute. I try not to panic ever, but I did. And so I sold it for a 2.7% gain. I definitely could have done better with that if I would have held out. I didn't know it was going to rebound, and so I just really wanted to lock in some profits over that 3-day period. And so that's what I decided to do. Today I had a 7% loss in day trading. Most days have been really great, but I've definitely been inconsistent on that. I'm not getting consistent gains. I've decided to take a step back from that, really take a look at my stock selection, because my strategy works. I just feel like my stock selection hasn't been great, and so I'm just wanting to get better at that. So I'm going to go back to the simulator for a little bit, try it out, and come back to it if I need to. But if I can get big gains out of just doing insiders and also doing PDUFA run-ups, I would rather do that. That's definitely a lot safer. Anyway, I'm gonna take a step back, I'm gonna look at it and look at my strategies and see if I can't make them better and practice in a simulator before I get back with real money. I get lots of questions, tons of questions, or lots of comments saying, hey, I'm down in this stock, or I'm down in this stock. And I want you to know that any of the picks that I have are for a particular time frame. I also get lots of questions saying, what's your price target? What's your price target? Well, I don't like to put price targets on stocks. Here's why. It's because you set a price target. Let's say you're in TTOO and you set a price target of $2.50. Well, once it hits $2.50, you sell out. Well, there might be a lot more potential left in the stock, and based on the chart, it might have a lot further to go. For that reason, I would rather look at the chart and let the chart tell me when it's time to sell, or let the market tell me when it's time to sell, and not rely on just some arbitrary price point. That's why I feel that way. One thing you gotta keep in mind, you might be down in a stock for just a little bit, but if it's a PDUFA run-up, like TRVN, let's say, TRVN is a PDUFA run-up that we've had on the list for quite a bit. If you have that PDUFA run-up and you might be down a little bit in it the week before or 2 weeks before it comes out, well, that's when all the magic happens anyway. You might be down for a short period of time, but you gotta give it time to get closer to that catalyst. That catalyst is that PDUFA date, and so you want it to slowly move up during that period of time. And you might be down during that part of section or feel, ooh, I'm losing money. I wanna tell you, you don't lose or make money on any stock until you sell it. When you sell it is when you decide, I've lost or I've made money on a stock. Don't worry about it temporarily being down one day. Well, let's get to the top 7 list. So I have 2 stocks that I'm owning that are not on this list. They're not in the top 7 right now. It's just because I feel like the ones that are in the top 7 are hotter at the moment. It isn't that I don't believe in the stock, so I always get lots of questions about it if it's not in the top 7. So don't worry, I still believe in it, that's why I own it. The first is LPCN. It has an August 28th PDUFA date for a testosterone replacement drug. I believe in this stock very much, that's why I put it on the list in the first place. It's not until the 28th, and we have lots of time till we get there. So I just kind of put this on the back burner. I own it, it's there, I'm holding strong, gonna be really good. Another is TTOO. Believe in it very much. I've been talking about it forever. And I think when their sepsis test gets FDA approval, this thing is gonna double. And so I'm just waiting. This is a long-term pick. I don't know when that catalyst is gonna happen. When it happens, I'm gonna be ready and I'm gonna sell the runner. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, or if you haven't seen my Sell the Runner video or my Exit Point video, you might check that out. I think that's a great video to check out. A lot of these picks that are on the list, what happens is this video comes out a certain time of night, I make the video, and then there's new insider activity or something that happens, and I share that immediately with the Patreon group that we have. And if you're not a member of that, I highly suggest you take a look at it. And for the small amount of money that it costs, one insider trade, man, you'll make all that money back. Some of these, you'll make a year's worth of that back. So just check it out in the description down below. So let's get to number 7. Number 7 is NTWK. So NTWK had insider activity by the CEO, and he bought 2 different days in a row, which I find extremely bullish. One day he bought in open market, paid the same price me or you would pay, and then went back and got more. So that was extremely bullish. I think it's got a long ways to run. We're a little bit up in it, but it really hasn't run yet. I think that it's a very good one to get into. Number 6 is EBF. EBF had Barbara Clemens. She's a director in the company, and she bought shares. So far, so good. This is a more stable stock. We're up a few percent in it. It's definitely got a lot more that it can go. We don't know why she bought that. There really hasn't been any news or anything. Could have been a value pick. Could have been because some news is going to be released tomorrow. We don't know. But EBF is a real strong buy, and you can still get in that and still have quite a bit of run-up. That's very good value. Number 5 is FENC. FENC has a PDUFA date of August 10th, so that is coming up. It's a drug for hearing loss. I think that's very, very marketable. It's a very marketable drug. It's also a company that's got very low volume. It could really shoot up in price if there were some buyers to get into it. Number 4, we have FDX, and FDX had a director buy of $362,000 of his own money, so there's obviously a reason behind it. Who knows, maybe something big is coming out. So FDX I think is a really good one. I'm definitely watching it. Bought it the other day, pointed it out on the Patreon group once it happened, but I had already made the video from yesterday before we got a chance to do it. So this one is new to the list, but I think it's got a lot of room to run. It's definitely gonna move up. Okay, number 3 is SCHW, Schwab. So a lot of you know that I have Schwab and Webull as my brokers. And what's kind of funny is I bought SCHW on my Webull account, which feels kind of wrong, but I did it anyway. So again, this is another one that came out late last night. We'd already made the video, but I shared it with the Patreon group immediately. A lot of the investors in the Patreon group are in this. There's just a ton of room to run. So this is right at the beginning. Director Charles, he bought $100,000 worth. It was a very bullish insider trade, and it was the same price me or you would pay. And so I think it's gonna really, really move upwards, and there's still so much room for it to go. I mean, it really hasn't moved much. It moved up 1% today. So there's still just so much. Typically, an insider will move a lot more than that. Number 2 is TRVN. TRVN has been on this list for quite a while. It has a PDUFA date of August 7th coming up. I think it's going to be very good. It is a pain medicine I think that we need, and hopefully the FDA gives approval on it. I'm definitely playing the run up to this, and expecting big things. Been in it for a while now, sitting a nice cool 20 or 30, I think I'm 20% up in it right now. So just kind of loving the price action. I think it's got so much more to go. I'm expecting a big run up as we get closer to that date, and as people get excited and buy it up. All right, number 1. Number 1, this came out really late last night, and it also missed the video. I wish I could have talked about this one, but it's number 1 today, and that's BAC, Bank of America. So Bank of America had an $800 million insider buy by Berkshire Hathaway. Pretty crazy. And they are a new 10% owner. And what the sweet thing about that is, now every time that Mr. Warren Buffett wants to buy more shares, he has to report it to the SEC as an insider transaction. That is bullish because I don't think he's done buying yet. And in his history, he has a tendency to buy day after day after day after day. So I'm expecting more news to come out, more insider activity. And as that comes out, then more investors come in. They say, ooh, Warren Buffett's in it. I'm going to get in it too. You know, he's a pretty smart guy, pretty good investor. So if he's in it, hey, I'm going to put some money in it. So anyway, I like that one very much. I do a lot of work for this list, so if you could do me a huge favor and please hit that most amazing and wonderful like button. Also, if you were to share this video with your friends, I so appreciate it. If you're seeing this middle-aged guy for the first time and you're like, who is this weird guy talking about stocks? and you like what I have to say, please subscribe and turn on those bell notifications, as that helps our channel out very much as we grow and get bigger and bigger. Also, if you are looking for a powerful broker, a broker that has great scanners and also has great early market and aftermarket hours, I highly suggest Webull. Webull is a very strong broker, and if you're looking to get free stocks, you can get a free stock in the description down below just by signing up, and then also you can get another free stock when you deposit money. I want to say that I appreciate all of you. I very much appreciate your support. Let's have a fantastic trading day tomorrow. Raythoven out.